Well, hi, Josh. It's so great to have you on the podcast today.
I can't believe you took this long for you guys to invite me to the podcast. How long have you guys been doing the podcast?
I know. I can't believe we haven't seriously, I think we've been trying to get this booked for a while.
Right.
Yeah, we're so happy to have you finally.
It's about time.
I know. I love it. Well, for those of you that have not heard of Josh, maybe just do a little intro on yourself, kind of how you got into lending.
Super simple, right? I've been lending real estate finance 25 years. That's it. And I'm not that old. You know what I mean? Like you're saying 25 years.
Personally career, right?
Right? This is it, right? I mean, I wish there was another something, but 25 years, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not that old. So it sounds 25 years, you're like, oh, you're almost coming up on retirement. I'm like, I don't think so. Right?
Unless you're doing really well.
Right? No, I'm going to be well for a while.
And always local, right? Here in the Minneapolis
I've
area?
been born and raised here in
Wow.
the Twin Cities, right? And in Minneapolis. But my parents, Fridley is where I grew up.
Yeah.
Parents live in Fridley. My dad was the mayor of Fridley. He loved Fridley so much he became the mayor. And he was the mayor for 24 years.
24 years
That
as
is
mayor.
so cool.
Yeah.
He must have really liked
From
it.
2000 to 2024, he was the mayor.
That's just such a cool thing to say, like as a kid too. Like my
It's not
dad's
that
mayor.
cool because you're.
It sounds really cool, like you're super important.
Sounds cool,
Yeah.
right? So here's the two downfalls for me, right? So I graduated high school and I move out of Fridley,
Yeah.
then he becomes the mayor.
Oh, so
I
it's like
didn't
bad
know
timing.
that. I
Right.
thought it was like
You
your
couldn't
little
even like
kid.
use that to your
No.
advantage
No.
at that point.
My younger sister, she got the better, because she was
Yeah.
like way younger.
Yeah.
So all her whole academic career,
Yeah.
K through 12, dad was the mayor.
Oh,
yeah.
I got no benefits.
All the teachers
Zero.
know,
So
the school knows. Yeah,
Right.
that is so funny.
Isn't that funny? But
Oh my
Go ahead.
gosh,
So
that's
how did you
funny.
get into lending? Did you?
Yeah.
great question, honestly, because it's a really funny story, right? So I graduate high school, I move out of Fridley, like I said, couldn't wait to get out, right?
Yeah.
And my parents like, hey, we've done pretty well for ourselves. We'll pay for anywhere on the planet for you to go to college. Guess where I go to college? Nowhere. Nowhere.
Give an inspiration to all the kids. that
Right,
want to go to
right.
college.
So I go nowhere, right? And I'm dating a girl at the time. Her older brother, okay, is in car sales. And he's like, hey, you'd be really good at car sales. I'm like, would I be? And he's like, yeah, you're good with like people, like, you'd be good. I'm like, I don't know anything about the cars. And he's like, you don't need to know anything about cars. So anyways, I start selling cars, right? I do okay, right? And I do that for a few years. And then fast forward, I sell a car to a guy that's buying a car for his daughter, 16-year-old daughter. And he's like, he writes on his credit application, because he's leasing the car, writes on his credit application that he makes $40,000 a month.
Oh.
And this is in the late 90s. Like $40,000, even $40,000 a month is a lot now.
Yeah.
Imagine 30 years ago or
Yeah.
whatever, right? And I'm like,
You're like,
wait.
did you mean to add that extra
I'd be
zero?
like,
Right.
typo here.
Right, exactly what I said. I said, no, because in my little brain, remember, I didn't go to college. I'm like, no. I need to know your monthly income, not your annual income. Duh.
He's like, oh, you're so cute.
Right? And he's like, that is what I make a month. And I'm like, get out of here. You can make that kind of money and you're not like a professional athlete?
Yeah.
Right.
What do you do? And he's like, I do mortgages. And I'm like, so what does that mean? Mortgages, because I don't even know. And he's like, actually, you'd be good at mortgages. I'm
He's
like,
like, I'm so
I don't
glad
know
you asked."
anything about mortgages, like the car thing, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, you'd be good at mortgages. And I'm like, I don't know. I didn't go to college. He's like, no, you'd be good at mortgages. You should go. 2 weeks later, I was going to work for him.
No way.
I never did anything ever again after I sold him that car. 2 weeks later, I was working for him, and then boom, I'm in the mortgage
Well,
business.
yeah, I imagine
Oh
that
my
you see the
gosh.
40,000 a month, and you're like, why would I spend another day at
Right?
the car
Yeah.
sales shop?
Yeah.
Sure, it took me a lot of years to
Right.
even come close to that number,
Yeah.
but it was still really funny. Funny story, right?
That's
That
a
is
common
incredible.
story because, I feel like even myself, it was like, I would get into something and people would be like, you'd be really good at that.
Right.
What's that?
Right.
And then it's like, because to me, sales will find you
True.
if you're good at
Absolutely.
sales.
Totally.
So no matter what, it's like that personality, that attractive to people type thing.
Totally.
And then you fall into that other career.
Isn't that funny?
But
Yeah.
I love that you made that happen like that.
Yeah. It was more like, you should do like, what's mortgage? I don't even know how to spell the word mortgage. Numbers, right? It was pretty
Yeah.
funny.
Well, but that's the thing, like knowledge you can teach anyone. It's really the personality, like relationship focus,
Yeah.
Obviously.
those characteristics.
Here I am
that-
25 years later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
That's amazing. And it's
Turned out
kind of
pretty
cool
well.
just like how everything comes together. Like if you weren't at work that day.
Correct.
when you bought a
Oh, I
car.
know.
If you
Totally.
didn't go into car
Totally.
sales to begin with. Like,
Totally
it's
good
just
point.
wild.
Yeah.
Funny story.
Yeah.
It was
That's
all
it.
meant
I
to
love
be.
that.
Totally.
Oh my gosh. So 20 some years now,
Yeah.
what are some of the biggest things that you've learned in your journey of being a lender?
That's a great question. Here's the thing. It's totally been, and this is like the synopsis of my career, okay? Doesn't matter what walk of life, mortgages, real estate, or whatever that you're in, right?
Yeah.
The biggest thing is how can you set yourself apart and be different than your competition?
Mhm.
That is totally what I've done, right? And it's not like I took any courses. It's not like I went out and went to college for this, right?
Yeah.
And the biggest thing is just like what I've learned is, wow, is it easier when you're different? Meaning, what does your product offering or your company offer that's different? Or when I say different, I don't mean be weird. I just mean like,
Yeah.
what do you offer that's different versus your competition?
Yeah.
You know, so you're not out there fighting for the same everything, right? Like the same
Yeah.
clients and the same. That's my overall synopsis,
Yeah.
right? How can you be different? That's really honestly and that's what I've really attracted myself to is either clients that that need help, that need financing help, like self-employed borrowers, like real estate agents, for example, right? Real estate agents always have a hard time buying houses because of the fact that they're always 1099. They're always behind on tax returns, always. And that, it's totally funny because it's so true. But the bottom line is anyone that's self-employed has a hard time buying houses. And especially the last 15 years, ever since, or even more than that, since like 2008, 2007, when the market really turned and they got rid of all those unique programs for like self-employed borrowers and stuff like that. And then it was really hard for self-employed people to buy houses because some of my biggest clients are like, hey, I make $1 million a year on paper, but I write off $1.1 million on paper. So of course I qualify for nothing at my bank, okay? And that's our client. That's my wheelhouse. So that's the super long way to answer your question. What have I learned over the last 20 years? Be 100% different than everyone else.
That's
If
so
that makes
good.
any sense.
Yeah, and just being like solution oriented, like
Exactly.
I'm gonna figure out a way to fix this problem.
Correct. Exactly correct. Exactly.
Yeah.
So one of my biggest things was like 2015, about 10 years ago, 11 years ago, me and my team rolled out, listen, we need a solution because we would get calls 5 times a week from people all over the country. Hey, how do we finance a short-term loan to flip a house? No bank does it ever. Never, no one does it. No, everyone wants to do it. We all want to flip houses. The only way people that were doing it was people with deep pockets, cash, oddball, like, or someone that knew someone's grandpa that had a bunch of money that would give, weird lenders, right? And there was no solutions. There was definitely no banking options at all. There was no lenders involved on that. And then, like I said, 2015, we rolled out a very simple program, and it was geared for people short term, 6-month-ish term, and we've been doing that ever since for flips around the country. And now it's geared to, now you see it almost everywhere. You see advertising for fix and flip. Someone coined the term fix and flip, which I'm super jealous about because I think I invented flip financing, but someone came up with this cool word like fix and flip, right? And I didn't come up with it, so I'm pretty mad about that. But so we came up with that, and that was another way to be different. Was how do we come up with something that's more exciting and more fun and really attract what do you call it when clients, constant clients, right, that come back to you over and over and over and over, like reoccurring clients. It worked out really well for us, and it still does. We're still one of the biggest lenders, I think, in the upper Midwest that lends on all over the country for flips.
And with those types of loans that you do, because like you said, a lot of people are offering those now.
Correct.
I feel like every lender that I talk to, and we do this. And I'm like, I think I heard someone else say they did that too, and that too. Right. And it's like, so then how do you differentiate your program from all the others that are getting
It's so funny. It's an ongoing wheel, because you're right. I have that. What you just said word for word comes up in my head almost daily.
Yeah.
Like, okay, someone else has stole your stuff. So you got to come up with something different here, right?
Yeah.
So on social media, you'll see probably 3 times a month. I'm not saying that I'm some social media wizard, but I post 3 or 4 times a month with a new product offering that we roll out. That's completely different, right? For example, let me just give you for example. we are the first lender, I think, in the United States. Last year, we started lending for United States citizens in Mexico. Nobody lends in Mexico. No one does. Not one. You call your bank, like use Wells Fargo, US Bank. Click.
Yeah,
good one. No credit unions, no other mortgage companies, no other mortgage brokers, or no one lends in Mexico. Nobody.
How can you do that? Is it just very because especially since it's a national company, let's say you're getting a problem, whether it's that specific one or a different one from people, are you able to go to them and say, I have a lot of clients that are experiencing this, what can we do?
That's exactly the answer. That's exactly the answer. I have a couple of connections that I've created over the years that have West Coast, California startup money, okay? And they want to get into private lending, private sector lending. They don't want to do Fannie and Freddie and FHA loans, like every bank does. They want to do something that's different, right? And they want to they have a ton of money. They get money from, investors or wherever the money comes from. And then they okay, how do we get in the safest play? What's the safest area? Josh, they come to me and say, and then I say, okay, well, you guys should be doing this, this, and this. And they're like, no, yes. We like the Mexico idea, or something like that.
So it's private lending.
Completely, it's private to an extent, right? So it's usually funds, okay? We've all heard of BlackRock. They're a massive, how do you explain it? The biggest private institution that, lends out money to all kinds of different walks of life, right? Like that.
Okay.
It's companies you've never heard of.
Right.
ABC Startup Capital, stuff like that, right? But that's to answer your question, yes, exactly where the money comes from. So different stuff.
That's interesting.
Right?
And that's every 3 to 4 months you're rolling out something new.
A couple times a month there's a new product, right?
Wow.
Right. So there was something
that's a lot of tools.
That is a lot of tools, right? But it's always like something. So this week I still is on my agenda to roll out this week, right? But we heard it here.
Maybe
first.
by the time this airs.
Right. Exactly.
Another video.
Exactly. So super simple, written verification of employment only. So people have a job. Yeah. They have a pay stub. They work for a company, but maybe it's weird. Maybe the income's weird. Maybe they just started the job a few months ago, so they don't have a history. They don't have last year's W-2s, or maybe they only work 40 hours one week and 0 hours the next, or whatever, right? Where a bank will be what's going on here? For a normal conventional loan, we don't need your pay stubs. We don't need your tax returns. I don't need your W-2s, nothing. Just a written verification of employment from your employer, from your HR department or whatever, that says, yep, they work here, yep, they make this much money, we're all good. And that supersedes taxes, income, pay stubs, W-2s, boom, over with.
Wouldn't that just be easier for everyone to be
Wouldn't that be just easier for everyone to be able to do that? Exactly. But these big banks or these big lenders have to follow certain rules and guidelines where these little lenders that I have on the West Coast do not.
Yeah.
Have you ever encountered issues? Because just my first thought is there has to be a reason big banks require that stuff. So have you ever encountered anything? And why is it that's fine?
Great question. Great question. Most of these are really well protected. And when I say well protected is most of these different unique programs have a large down payment requirement.
Okay.
Meaning 20% down. So meaning when I say protected in the lending world, that means if they've got a down payment, they're usually not going to go bad. And usually it's for good credit scores. So usually you do there's some hoops, there's a catch. Yeah. It's got to be a catch, right? Yeah. The catch is you got to have pretty good credit. And usually you have a down payment of 20% down. So that's usually we're good. We're safe. You know what I mean?
Seems a little more trustworthy.
Correct, exactly. So we're not doing these different programs for someone with lower credit scores or lower income or definitely with a lower down payment.
Right.
Follow me? So,
exactly.
That's the biggest play of it. But it really changed during COVID. You guys remember during COVID, right? Prior to COVID, things were going really well, right? And then everyone's 2020 is going to be a great year. Woo!
I totally remember that.
Yeah.
And it's psych.
Yeah, exactly. I remember.
Nose dive real quick.
Totally. And you, Grace, you turned 21 during COVID?
21 in 2021. Yeah.
Oh my God. The worst.
Oh I know. The bar's closed so early.
Sad.
Oh my God. So during COVID, it was super funny, right? Because I was just as scared as everyone else. Meaning not scared of passing away from COVID, but more of what are we doing? Like, we're shutting down the world, right?
Yeah.
So I figured, of course, and I'm being the massive rebel that I am, I figured that there's got to be a place, right, that like cool people here in town are like going to secretly, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's got to be a place they're going to play cards or smoke cigars or, you know, just whatever, getting together, like, and breaking the rules, right? I remember there was like, you couldn't have a house party with more than 8 people.
Oh, I know. Oh yeah,
it's
all
like
the neighbors
prohibition time.
like hide your card on the street
remember
and
that?
walk down. It's so funny.
Well, you better be outside, because I remember going to a birthday party in May of 2020 because someone in there, but they were doing it right. We were having an outdoor birthday party, right? And there was like 14 people, right? And my dad's like, I don't know if you can do that. I'm like, okay, I think we could do this. We're not like hugging and like, you know, we're spread out, we're good. But anyway, so during COVID, I thought to myself, there's got to be something to like do besides, because everything was, you know, I mean, it wasn't just real estate, which I couldn't do open houses. No one was buying, you know, at the first few. So then me and a couple friends were like, okay, maybe we should start. Maybe we should look. Let's look at space in Minneapolis that might become available because like restaurants were closing down and stuff like that. And then, you know, we were drinking, of course, at the time. Would that be right? Exactly. So then like a week later, I get like a text and an email saying, hey, we got a showing tonight at this location. I'm like, for what? Like, we're really doing this?
You guys, we were serious?
Wait, what?
It sounds like a good idea.
I thought we were joking, kind of good. Anyway, so we go to the first place. Now, if you guys remember, this is in downtown Minneapolis, right by Loring Park and the cathedral, right? And Four Bells restaurant was there, this gorgeous space. Now it's Gai Noi, if you know the Asian restaurant. Okay. Yep, Gai Noi. Now it's beautiful restaurant, right? At the time, Four Bells had just closed down because of COVID.
Okay.
And it became available. And I'm like, I look in the windows and I'm like, no, you guys, this is way too, you've been to Gai Noi. It's way too nice, way too big. We're not renting this space.
Yeah.
But then right next door, there was a tiny little dump, and I'm talking dump, right? And it hadn't been a restaurant for years. It was vacant for a long time. And I stuck my head in there. I'm like, how much is this place? And the guy's like, I don't know if you want this. Like the leasing. He's like, what?
He's like, let's keep.
I don't think you wanted this one. And I'm like, yeah, this is right up our alley. You know, this terrible dump that needs a ton of work. This is us. And so anyways, long story short, we rent this space, right? But with the condition of, remember, this is going to be for our like private like guys club, cigar club, right? And I'm thinking at the time, we're like, okay, if we get like a dozen guys to chip in $100 a month or $200 a month, whatever the cost will be, it'll be perfect, right? We'll have a cute little club that, you know, whatever. Anyways, so we talked to the leasing agent. We're like, okay, listen, what can we, before we do everything, like sign and, you know, everything like that, can we like throw like a pre-party to see if there's even like a pre-construction party? Correct. Yeah. Exactly.
Are people gonna want this?
Exactly, because we didn't know. This is October of 2020, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So anyways, we kind of like pushed some dust to the side. I announced it on social media. We're gonna have a party, and this is like pre-construction. I'm talking about stepping over dead critters, you know what I mean? But we got rid of them, you know what I mean? So anyways, so we throw this like, you know, of course we just put it on social media, and then like the party doesn't start till 7 on like a Friday night, right? In October of 2020, I don't think we were supposed to get together, of course. And of course, the restaurant windows are like floor to ceiling. So it looks like a fishbowl, you know what I mean? Like you can look in and it looks like we have like, you know, lights are on. And I'm like, oh my God, we're going to go to prison. Like we're going to go to jail.
It's like you can't drive by and not see them.
Right, exactly.
What are they doing?
Remember, this is in the block where Cafe Lurcotte is and like, you know, it's a happening area at the time. And I'm like, oh my God, we're going to go to jail. Anyways, my point is we opened up a cigar club during COVID. It worked. The party was a success. 200 people showed up. It was
wow.
It was
200
people.
Did they all fit?
Yes, totally. But it was super funny because when I hired a security guard, like a guy up front, just to like at the time, and I'm like, dude, because this is when I talked to him at this time, at the start of the party, and there was like 4 people there. I'm like, okay, if you see anyone out walking their dog, invite them in. Get them. Come on in. If they're cool.
Yeah,
they're cool. Right? Anyways, so at like 2 hours later, now we have like 200 people. Then I go back to the security guard. I'm like, okay, do not let any more people in. We're all gonna go to jail. Like for real. It was super funny. But anyways, long story short, here we are 6 years later. Cigar Club's still operational.
And how can people look this up? And is it open to anyone, or do you got to be a member?
You have to be a member. Great question.
Yeah.
But anyone can become a member pretty easily.
So you're still open to new members joining?
Of course. Yes.
Okay.
It used to be called the Hemingway Social. Now it's the Hayden Social. Okay. The reason why we had to change the name, we got a letter. It's a different story, different podcast. We got a letter from the Hemingway family. True story. This is a true story. We're 2 years in. Get a letter from the Hemingway family saying, "Got to change your name." And I'm like, come on, this isn't real. Why would anyone care? We're a joke cigar club. You care? So I thought it was cool. My partner was like, dude, we're getting in trouble. I'm like, this is cool. They found us.
They found us. Yeah,
they found us.
Can you frame the letter?
I was just going to say, you got to hang that
I think we still have it somewhere. Yeah.
That's amazing.
But anyways, we had to change the name. It was stupid.
Yeah.
So anyways, as long as we don't have to talk about
And is it always like open though? Like,
that's a cool story
member,
too, right? So the door is always locked 24/7.
Okay.
But with your app on your phone, you can access the club 24/7.
That's cool.
Cool, right?
That's really cool.
So you can come in there, you can have a podcast.
Yeah.
You could if you don't mind cigar smoke.
Yeah.
You could have a podcast. Pretty funny, right?
But
all right, what else have we got to go over
so
for the people that are watching besides cigar smokers?
Now I heard you also lent for, is it airplanes?
We do.
Tell us about this.
That's funny. I'm glad you talked about, because during COVID, of course, people were really wanting to spend money, right?
Yeah.
So I started dabbling into financing for aviation, for planes, for boats, for, of course, real estate, of course, and high-end autos, right? So, once again, anyone can call a bank and get a loan for your Ford Escort, or whatever vehicle you drive, right? Anyone can get a loan for that. It's for the higher end cars, like the $100,000 plus, $200,000 plus cars that not every bank does for long terms, right? When you go buy a Ferrari for $300,000, you don't finance it for 3 years or 4 years or 5 years. Most people don't, right? I mean, the average guy that makes good money that wants to buy a Ferrari for 200 grand, they want to finance it for 10 or 12 or for a long period of time so they can forward the payment, right?
Yeah.
So we do that. We have lenders for that, for boats, for planes. And the last one we did was the coolest one that we did for for a fleet transaction for automobiles was Amazon. Okay, so Amazon, the trucks that show up at your driveway, the vans, okay, they are not owned by Amazon. Did you know that?
No.
I think I learned that somewhere along the
Right.
way.
And that guy with the Amazon, or a girl with the Amazon vest, they don't work for Amazon. They work for Bill, or whoever his name is. Bill owns Amazon's truck route, right?
Okay.
And Amazon contracts Bill in his vans and everything, of course. So they don't work for Amazon, they work for Bill. Bill calls me and says, listen, I need 40 more vans because we just picked up another territory, right?
Love this.
So that's where we got 40, I financed 40 of the electric version. Have you seen the electric versions? Like the round headlights, right? So we
They're
financed,
everywhere now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We financed 40 of those just probably 6 months ago already, but
That's so. I'm gonna think of you now every time I see an electric Amazon vehicle.
Right? So Bill, that's not his real name. I'm just using that.
Yeah.
Bill owns half of the Twin Cities, right? And it continuously grows. So he's got honestly, I think he has 600 vans.
Wow.
So think about it. He's like, and I'm like, that's a lot of vans. He's like, yeah. Every day, one breaks down, one gets in an accident.
I bet.
I mean, every day there's something.
Yeah.
And like, do you really need 40 more vans? He's like, yeah, I need 30 vans a month because, like you said, one breaks down.
Yeah.
One gets in an accident, one gets stolen, or whatever.
Yeah,
and he's like, you won't believe the amount of drama when there's 400 vans.
Well, it's a statistics thing at that point. You have that many vans out there, something's gonna happen just about everything.
Exactly.
Wow. So you're doing a lot. You got mortgages, you got auto, airplane, social club.
Planes, trains, automobiles.
That's the only thing we haven't done yet. I haven't done trains yet.
No trains.
We're sitting right next to a train track. Maybe it's the next
so
big
funny.
idea.
Yeah, good point.
That's so. What does your day look like? Your week look like? Like, how do you manage that all? Managing that all.
That's a great question, honestly, because every day is different. That's another reason why I like this job. And you guys probably are the same thing.
Yeah,
with title, with real estate, or whatever, anything to do with real estate usually has got to do, something's different every day, right? So my point is, every day, that's why I love the job, is it's never like, okay, so I gotta be there by 9 and I've got to clock out by 5. Every day is so unique. Like today, I got a phone call from someone in Texas. They want to buy 3 properties, 3 flips, and it's Santa Ana, Texas. I don't even know if that's real, if that's a city. I don't even know. That was on the way here, legitimately on the way here. Someone called from Texas that needs to buy 3 properties. So it's so different. I mean,
Yeah.
so I wish it was like, yes, at 9 a.m. I wake up and at 9:15 I go work out.
Do you have a morning routine
Yes.
at all?
Yeah.
Do you set an alarm?
Exactly. And that's the thing. I mean, I'm not an early person. And I wish I was. Like a lot of successful people, men and women, they're like, yes, I get up at 4:30 in the morning and I get up and I yoga and I meditate.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Sauna.
I don't even know what I would do
Cold plunge,
during a meditation.
shake. No.
I've tried doing meditating for like a minute. I'd be like, why am I not? I should be painting the garage. I should be more, you know what I mean?
About what you
right? That's instantly my brain doesn't
Yeah.
like turn off. My brain's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Why aren't you haven't called the Johnson client yet?
Yeah.
Like, you know, like
It's
that.
hard to sit still sometimes.
Oh, that's
I
hilarious.
wish I had that. I
Yeah.
wish.
Yeah.
That's a different walk of
Oh my
life, I
gosh.
think.
So this career works for you.
Yeah.
It's been
you
really
own your day.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's been really fun, right? I mean, of course, has it been hard? Of course. Has it been super rewarding though? Yes. That's what I tell everybody.
Yeah.
The most rewarding career I think is this career. People say that probably about all their careers, or like nurses and doctors and people that deliver babies.
Yeah.
That's probably really
They
rewarding
probably
for
love
them,
that. Yeah.
right? But for me, it's been rewarding because it's so fun to see happy clients when they do buy a house, their first house, their 40th house, or if I get an oddball text message was not expecting from a client that I received like on Thanksgiving night at like 9 o'clock while I'm sitting in my hot tub, Thanksgiving night, and I get a text from a client out of the clear blue, and she's like, I just had my family over, and the whole time I thought of you, and thank you. I can't believe you got this done for me. I'm in my new house. I just had my family. I hosted Thanksgiving.
Wow.
I'm like, that is so,
That's
I
so
would cry.
nice.
Right?
That makes
Exactly.
me want to cry. I don't even know who this is.
right? And it was so like I just did my job and got you to your house.
Yeah,
and
that
I
is
was
so
I mean, I being in, once again in title or real estate like you guys earned me, you very, very ever get rewarded like that.
Yeah.
But when you do,
It makes everything
It's
worth
so
it. Like,
worth it.
totally, the
Absolutely.
3 that I get a year, like that,
Yeah.
they're like, thank you, you know what I mean? It really is like the next level of like, oh my God, this is so why I'm supposed to be, I think, alive. I think,
Right.
Yeah.
in a cheesy way of saying it, right?
But it's
No,
like
I
it's
love
all
that.
meant to be, and it's like you
Right.
played a role in a huge part of their life that brought
Yeah,
them joy,
Totally.
Change their
changed
life.
their life.
Totally right, and it's like you can't even express it. Like you said, like over like talking about it, the feeling that you get, and especially when it's unsolicited, it's not like, can you give me a nice review?
Yeah.
Here's my
It's like
Google
I'm
link.
not expecting this on Thanksgiving night.
Yeah.
This is really sweet, like
Yeah.
beyond, like you
And
said.
it's
Yeah.
it's one thing for someone to think of you, but for them to go the extra step and like let you know that they were thinking of
Correct.
you is just so special.
Totally
I know.
right.
So
Totally.
special. I think like a really great takeaway for anyone listening to your story about how you started in car sales and then just got told you'd be
Right.
great at this industry
Right.
and you just went for it. But then even that, like, yes, you locked into this industry, but you've also been open to so many other different ideas with getting into automobiles and getting into your social club and like still going down different avenues while still having a focus. I think is such a great takeaway to like, you can lock in on what your career is and like what you're meant to do, but still be open to new opportunities and different ways of doing things.
Completely right.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good way to say it.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
That's so true.
So to kind of wrap it up on a crazy note,
Yeah.
give us a wild story.
I bet you got some good stories.
Yeah.
There's one. Okay, so there's and there's so many, honestly, but I mean, we've done loans for professional athletes before here, here in town. Their stories are super fun usually.
Yeah.
But the craziest one, I'm gonna keep this as generic as possible because I'm sure this person's not listening, of course, right? But this has happened probably 2010, let's say, so 15, 16 years ago. So I get a call, and it's actually a referral from a financial planner, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I know this financial planner has a lot of this community's money, okay? Without going too far down that, right? So it's a young kid. When I say young kid, probably 20, let's say 20, okay? Has a massive trust, okay, for funds, for money, right? Massive money in the bank, massive monthly payment every single month. When I say, I think it was like $70,000 or $80,000 a month for this trust. And this was 15 years ago, right? Anyways, so he calls and says, hey, I want to buy a house. Okay, great. He's like, I already have a house that I live in, a primary residence here in Minnesota. I have a primary residence. I want to buy a second house, a cabin, like a cabin. I'm like, cool, sounds cool.
Yeah.
Awesome, good for you. He's like, I already have it picked out. It's up by like Mille Lacs, let's say, so an hour north of the Twin Cities. And it is on 40 acres, okay? And I'm like, okay, cool. So I look up the house, and the house is like kind of dumpy, right? And this person has a lot of money, right? Like we just talked about. So, and he's like, I don't really care about the house. It's going to be like a clubhouse for me and my friends. But I really want the 40 acres. I'm like, okay, clubhouse? So what now? And he's like, yeah, me and my friends do LARPing. Okay? It's an acronym, right?
Okay.
Live action role playing. Okay? So if you've ever seen the movie from like 15 years ago, 18 years ago called Role Models with there's who's in it? That guy from, what's his name? I'll show you. Look it up. Role Models, right?
Okay.
It's exactly like that movie. Okay? So what that is live action role playing is they dress up like medieval times, like the Renaissance. Okay? Dragons and like kind of like what's that show on HBO? Like the dragon one.
Yeah.
You might know.
I can't think of it. But anyways, like the Renaissance festival.
Yeah.
Let's say that. Dragons, wizards, sorcery, knights, that kind of stuff. They dress up like these people. Then they run around and have like their little clans, and they run around and like attack each other without any violence. So no one gets hurt. They just like pretend to like, I hit you with my foam sword and you're dead. Or I cast a spell on you. Yes, this is a true story. All of this, right? So anyways,
I love how in depth he went.
I'm telling you, this happened 15 years ago. And remember, I was like, wait, this is a joke. Right?
Yeah,
I don't know
what
direction.
You're wasting my time here. What are we doing?
This is a joke.
Yeah.
I don't know what direction I thought live action role playing was going in,
Yeah.
but it was.
When you said LARPing, I thought it was a kind of animal that people hunt that I never heard of.
No, right? Trust me, I had to look it up too.
Okay,
and then I'm like, dude, I don't get it. He's like, well, it's kind of like I just did to you guys.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the movie Role Models?
Yeah,
And I'm like, no, I don't think so. And then I looked up like, oh god, this is actually funny, right? Because
Yeah.
of course they make fun of it during that movie, right?
Yeah.
And there's multiple actors. So like the guy that's from American Pie from Minnesota,
Yeah.
Stifler.
Yeah,
Remember
yeah.
Stifler? He's in that movie. And there's a couple other
okay.
actors you'd know right away. You'd be like, oh god, this is really Paul Rudd.
Okay,
Paul Rudd.
yeah.
He's in the movie, right? So but anyways, long story short is he buys the property. I make this fantasy legitimately come true
Yeah.
for him, and now him and his friends have a clubhouse and 40 acres to run around.
And LARP.
Yes, and I'm like, dude, I gotta see this. So one time, I gotta see this. He's like, yeah, come on up. I'm like, I'm not dressing up, right? He's like, yeah,
That was gonna be my first question. Did you get a sword?
Yeah, you better bring your sword.
A wizard. Right? No, so I go up there because it was only an hour and 20-minute drive. I got to see this, right? And this is really like kind of before like the big social media like takeoff of the world, right?
Okay.
So I'm taking photos and I put them on social media. People are like, "What are you like? You're playing with like children? like
are you in a
acting?
play?
Right? Exactly. This is a true story. But here's the best. Here, I'll wrap it up with this. This is where it's super like beyond funny. I had to go to his house to get documents signed. Right? This is like because 15 years ago, not everyone had print whatever.
Yeah.
So anyways, I go to his house.
Mm-hmm.
This is a true story. His house is a castle.
No.
And I'm not joking.
It's a castle?
Legitimately. And it had a drawbridge.
No
and
way.
And a moat.
That has to be on a lot of land then.
Way.
I am telling you the honest to God opinion, the truth of like me seeing this place. It is a castle from like 1400s. Like in Belgium. You know what I mean? Like it's like this dark stone.
Is it like around the Twin Cities?
Yes. And
People
I will tell you off air exactly where it is.
Yes, yes. I'm so curious, but I wonder if like anyone listening to this is gonna be like, yeah, that's in my neighborhood.
I'm not. It's not like kind of a castle. It's a castle with like exactly how you would picture it, like Dracula's castle.
Wait, that's kind of sick.
Oh my god!
It was beyond cool.
Wow.
So I had to like hit the button. This is a true story. I hit like the button and like the voice box, okay, and like okay, I'll open it.
No way.
Over the moat.
Oh my god.
Were you like, I gotta record this? No.
I totally had to. It was so awesome. This is all 100% true.
And how did this kid even find you?
So it was a referral from like a financial planner.
That's right.
Right, financial planner. He's like, hey, I got a new client for you that he wants to buy. And I'm like, okay. And every time that guy sent me a new client, it was
you're like, this is the best thing ever.
Wow, right. That's great to have.
Isn't that a funny story?
Yeah.
That's the best.
So funny.
You're like, okay, LARP makes sense now.
LARPing.
LARPing makes
the
sense.
stuff that you learn every time I have a conversation.
Oh, so funny.
That is
But look
so
at that. What a great, look at, even 15 years later, 16 years, I still talk about this kid.
Yeah.
And
I know.
You know what? I've told that story 1,000 times.
But I love it.
Yeah.
It's so
No,
unique.
I want
It
to
is
see
one of
that
the
house.
craziest for sure. Oh my gosh.
Ladies, thank you so much for having
Oh,
me.
Thank you so much for joining
And for
us.
This was
anybody
fun.
that wants to find you, follow you for your videos, reach out. Where should they find you?
I mean, I don't know.
Google.
Is that what the easiest what people do, right? I mean,
yeah.
thegoogle.com, right? No, I'm of course on social media. Yeah, it's super easy to find me.
Yeah.
Super simple.
Do you know your Instagram handle?
You know, it's super cool. I know them both because they're the same. I didn't even know you could do
Okay,
this. Do you know you could do this? You can change them right now.
Yeah.
I used to have like Josh Lund 1-8444666.
No, you can change it.
I didn't know that until like a month ago, and I changed it now. The Josh Lund.
Ooh.
On both of them.
Then people will remember
Cool,
it.
right?
I love that.
Cool, right? Because of course Josh Lund was taken,
Yeah.
so I had to do the Josh Lund.
Yeah.
Pretty funny.
Awesome. We'll link it all in the show
Yeah.
notes. So
Thank
people
you.
can
Well, thanks for
find you.
coming today.
Thanks so much for
great
That was
coming.
super fun. Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.